So we were trapped in the sand pit area with the ships and the scarab things, and we devised a plan to use the bones of the hangman, whoever I forgot the guy's name.
Sazim.
Yeah, sure. Orn doesn't really care about the guy's name, so. And
just Orn, not Devin. Just Orn.
Orn, yeah. I mean, Devin, obviously, whoever that guy is.
Of course.
And we used the bones to distract the body so we can get away, and then we decided we needed to go the other way. And then we found some poems or something like that, or some tomes that had some possible information for us. And we opened up some doors that led to trapdoors, and we got really lucky, and we figured out how to open that door using our smarts because we're intelligent creatures. Eve using her smarts, and that's the last I remember.
So, as you arrived at those doors, Thoric, what happened at the doors?
Yeah, let me just scroll over to my little notes. Should
have already been there.
Okay, so we get to the doors. We encounter the ghost lady, whose name totally slips my mind. Yeah, that lady. And it appears that we tried to attempt to speak to her, but we decided to go another route and have a full-on brawl. So we in a fight. And compass doors, okay. And I think yeah, these weren't okay, so it didn't save the other section.
Yeah, I just had a Windows update, and apparently it deleted some of my notes. So
wait, hold on.
Fortunately, I have a hard copy. I always feel stupid whenever I write out a hard copy and I have a digital copy, but I don't feel stupid right now.
Well, I can pick up where he left off.
All right, Gary, what you got?
Gary fired a thunderbolt at her face and kicked things off, pissed off the crowd. There could have been a negotiation, but he let one slip. He had oopsies. And then Melusine, unfortunately, just got absolutely obliterated. She was just right there in the action. Both rooms erupted with mummy-like or undead weird creatures, which then proceeded to attack us, and she went down, and they started dragging her down into their weird cave alcove tunnel thing.
Yep.
To which Bernard saved the day, or attempted to, and it was a mini mission to save her, which was successful. And towards the end, Neris took some damage, and she thought it best she disappear out of there, and we finished off the remaining zombie mummies.
Yep. So
I believe that's where we were.
I believe that's everything. The one thing that I wanted to make sure we mentioned was the namesake of our last game session was Bard and Eve's tag team duo, leapfrogging it across the sandy dunes. Thoric's back.
Hey, what happened to Bard Hawk Down?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, I thought that was the name.
No, you said about our shenanigans.
Yeah, that was the namesake of the episode, Bard Hawk Down.
Yeah, that led to.
I was confused.
Was Eve and Bard doing the leapfrog maneuver across the sand dunes with the angry, gnashing scarabs in chase that got you guys out of the sandy dunes and into the catacombs, well, not the tunnels where you are now. So, tonight we pick up with the party, as you can see here on our now colored terrain. All of you
Very nice.
are in a four-way intersection. This door was the door that Orn was listening at before Nearest appeared on the other side of it. The bodies of 5 dead mummies are between these two rooms, and there's a couple.
Mummies are always dead. Just FYI.
Okay, that's fair. The now little more than dust and scraps of cloth mummies lie on the ground here, and you can see that there are empty sarcophagi in either room, and in this room, against the back wall, there's a table full of canopic jars.
Andy, did we already share with the party? Because I remember last time we came upon those chambers, we identified it as Thoth's chamber.
So that's a good question.
So did we already share that with the party? I think I remember relaying that information. It was me and someone else that identified it.
I think it was Eve.
There-
There were
Yeah, I think
three
Eve.
people that made checks. Sorry, Eve?
No, I was just saying if it was deciphering the glyphs, then yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys had time to examine this room, and I believe you were going to examine this room when all hell broke loose. So, if you would like to, anyone who wishes may roll an investigate check. Gary, Thoric, and Eve, the three of you will roll with advantage.
Of course.
Ooh.
21?
21?
Mod 20.
14. Can I have +5 too? 14.
Okay, hold up here.
So, everybody rolled above 14, right?
No,
Thoric, what'd you get?
got an 8.
Okay. Thoric, for some reason, you're really fascinated by the angle of the blade on your axe. That seems to take up all of your attention. Everybody else is able to discern the unique hieroglyphics that adorn the door for this room. They're the hieroglyphics of a crocodile, a lion, and a hippo, which Eve and Gary both recognize as the symbols of Amit, the famed half-god, half-demigod, kind of half-demon, very complex concept in the river elf mythology.
So crocodile, bat, and what?
Crocodile, lion, and hippo.
Okay. So no bat.
It is no bat.
Sorry.
But you could be forgiven for thinking bat right now.
Yeah, thinking bats are really bad animals right now.
So, as you examine this, Gary and Eve, the two of you are aware that this is the hall of the Devourer of the Dead. Everybody went away?
Devourer of what?
Devourer
The Dead.
of the Dead. Everybody hear me that time?
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I lost connection for just a moment there. So,
so do we.
what a time to be alive. So, you're certain that this hall is the Hall of Thoth. This hall is the Hall of Amit. Did you guys examine this door?
I don't think we have examined the door.
Okay.
I got a 17 on my investigate check. I'll use
Okay.
that to examine the door.
Sure. Orn, there's some definite dog imagery going on here.
Hey, I know what a dog looks like.
Yep. This looks like a very stylized, severe, almost angry, almost perpetually angry dog.
Have I seen that dog on the street anywhere?
You probably have, but this looks.
I rolled a 21, by the way.
Well, Bard, what I was describing for you is you're
Get this dog.
you've seen this kind of stuff, but you haven't studied the River Elf art, but you have heard of the myth of the Devourer of the Dead, a creature whose task it was to devour those souls deemed unworthy by Lord Thoth.
Yeah, I sang a song about it back in my goth days when I was a teenager.
Only one?
Yeah, just one. Half a song, actually. That was in back then.
Don't want to be too mainstream.
That's right. Who does a full song anymore, right?
That's so traditional.
Eve and Gary, the two of you together can decipher that this center door is that of the Hall of Anubis.
Bus where?
The jackal had gone.
This bus.
Does it smell like dog behind this door?
You can roll a perception check.
I smell door. Whatever that smells like.
You never know.
On a 12. Andy?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're having a technical issue here with the sound. So Gary's gonna have to reconnect here.
Yes.
There we go.
On a 12.
On a 12, Orn, you do not smell dog. But you do smell the very dry scent of long dead skin. We're talking hundreds, maybe thousands of years worth of decay.
Mummies.
Don't breathe.
What's the door made out of?
Stone.
Stone?
Mm-hmm.
Is it brittle or pretty solid?
It is very, very solid.
Okay. That's all I got.
Could I roll an investigate check to quit looking at my axe and actually be aware this time?
Sure, go ahead, Thorg. This is a separate check.
Never mind, I'm still looking at the axe.
But it's so sharp!
It is.
He starts licking his axe.
Wow, this axe is magical.
All right, so all of you stand at this four-way intersection. The door in front of you is definitely locked. It's not going anywhere. Orn has listened at it the first time and pressed against it, and it didn't give. Now when he's smelling at it, doesn't seem to react to it.
Have you tried pulling it?
I tried to pull it.
It doesn't give, Orn.
Is it locked?
So there doesn't appear to be any handle on the door either. Where the other two doors had large knockers on them that you could use to push them open. Calm down, Melusine.
Knockers, you say?
Down, boys.
You said it.
I give them a knock.
Where those doors you could manipulate easily, these are smooth, but for the impression of a large dog with pointed ears, its face
I cast Fireball.
embossed into the door. Okay.
No, you don't.
Fireball.
No.
Fireball.
I put my hand on her hand and say, down,
Why?
down.
We need to open the doors.
This is not with us standing around. And who knows, you might cause a cave-in.
Yeah, why don't you shoot that when we move out of the way? As in 50 feet away.
As
Why?
in out of the temple.
Would it make you feel better if I used something else? I could do.
Like your hands. Use your hands, no magic. Just
No,
your hands. Oh, and your brain, if you have one.
no. It's magical. Nothing.
Then nothing. I vote for nothing.
Right, nothing.
I'm gonna go
Isn't
down on the ground and pout like a child.
Okay,
Hey, why
that's-
don't you look at my shiny axe? Look at how sharp it is. Wonderful.
wouldn't it?
The craftsmanship of my people.
Isn't there some canisters over there in the corner? Can we go open those canisters?
I want to use my roguish abilities to search for anything along the walls near the door.
So
You said there's canisters? Those
there
things?
are canisters. These dark. Can you guys see these dark spots here?
Yeah.
So
On your face?
No.
Oh, sorry.
On the map.
You were really close to the camera when you said that.
Ooh. Got him.
I miss you guys so much. All right, so the on the map here, can you guys see the dark spots in the corner? Those areas are the tunnels that you noticed in those rooms. Aside from that, there is a table here with canopic jars, like the ones that you found in the Tomb of the Guardian.
What did he find?
Eve, what was your investigate check?
I haven't rolled an investigate check. I was asking what I need to do to search the walls near the door to see if there's like a loose stone or whatever that could open it.
That would be an investigate check.
Yeah.
I got 14.
14? All right. As you examine the stones here, you don't see any false stones. You don't. Everything appears to have been engineered very, very well. And pressing on them, you're certain that you have carefully examined the wall and didn't find any hidden openings or whatnot that would have opened the doors from this side. Also,
I was going to ask even the floors.
Even the floors. You don't find any pressure plates on this side. I was going to say, as you examine the door, you notice that even pushing against it, a stone door tends to have just a little bit of give to it between the hinges. This is like a sheet of solid metal. Pressing against it, even bracing your foot into the floor and pressing into it, moves the door no way at all.
So I'm kind of thinking it's something that...
Oh my god, they freeze?
I think they froze.
Hey, y'all frozen.
It's my turn next.
Me.
I'm calling it. It's my turn next.
Unfreeze.
Well, let me open up some of these Oh, wait, they're back. Wait.
No.
You're,
Well, let's open these canisters.
Gary, you step over into the room that has the canopic jars. There are, as a table, there have 5 of them on this table. There are also a few of them that are broken near the edge of the table. There we go.
There we go.
I called it, guys. My camera's going down next. So, nobody...
I might be the only one who doesn't go down tonight, and now I'm excited. My camera's finally going to work.
Well, that's new.
Now you're jinxing it.
Nope, now it's a
No,
round.
at this point, it doesn't even matter. It's just a lost cause.
She actually had a good point. I don't know if you heard.
Nope, you guys cut out while she was talking.
Just saying that if the stone doesn't move like forward or being pushed backward, for me, just personally, I'm assuming it's a stone that lifts up or drops down. Some kind of way, possibly.
Maybe.
Or it could be shattered, and then you just walk through.
Andy, is there any circular thing that like an orb might be able to fit into?
No, sir.
I have the orb of the Guardian, and I'm trying to remember
Yeah,
what.
but it's your precious, precious gift. Which that might be what those things are after.
Shh. We don't need to talk about that.
Okay. Gary, you've got 5 canopic jars here.
Thoric, you want to eat another one?
No, I've had my fill.
Hmm.
We're done with that experiment.
They have these canopic jars have the head of a hawk, the head of a winged elf, the head of a crocodile, the head of a cow, and some animal that you don't quite recognize. It looks like the head of a strange donkey with square ears.
Nice
Oh,
little
grab
crocodile.
the head of the crocodile.
The head of the crocodile?
Right.
All right. As you pop the jar open, a long, sinewy, wet cord flops, sort of uncoils from the inside of the jar. It's a very, very long cord. It's almost just like keeps unraveling, and then you see that it is a series of segmented, liquid, fleshy, liquid-coated, fleshy tube that writhes and wriggles around the canopic jar.
Like stem cells?
Ugh, like intestines.
Like intestines. This
Looks
looks
like intestines.
like
Smells like it
intestines.
too.
Now, it begins to move with some discoordination, kind of like it's trying to roll itself towards the door. It doesn't seem to be moving directly towards you, Gary, but it's moving back towards the passageway behind you.
Kill it.
Like it's.
Wait, try following
kind
it.
of like-
Follow it.
I'm following it. Yes, I will kind of like watch it do its thing.
After it gets itself...
It stays 5 feet from you.
Like you meant it's heading towards the middle door, right?
Yep,
Not
that's-
like
so Gary,
Okay.
you were over here, and it is now rolling back towards the four-way intersection.
okay,
As
I'm
As it
gonna
begins
watch
to
it.
collect some dust and some dirt on the floor, it gets caught up on the canopic jar behind it, but then uncoils itself, all the while rolling its way slowly, but certainly towards the intersection. And as it comes towards the intersection and rounds the edge of the wall there, it's almost as if this eyeless, sightless organ senses something. Getting some feedback from somebody. Aaron, your audio is feeding back through the... The organ, as it rounds the corner, begins to accelerate, rolling across the floor towards Melusine.
Yes.
I run from it.
Get her.
To where do you run?
Just like not even into a location.
You know, like if there's a bug.
God, we can't get audio.
Couldn't hear a
Your
word of that.
your
You couldn't
audio,
hear any of that?
yeah, your audio
Because
just
you said
all of a
treat it
sudden
like a bug.
spontaneously cut out. But I got it. You want to just run away from it like it's a
Yeah,
bug.
like I would a bug.
Like a cockroach.
All right,
Like,
Sounds
like that.
all right.
Put my hands through this.
So, as she does, the wad of intestines almost moves a little bit faster and begins to close in, ignoring everyone else in these corridors. It just slithers across the floor. Not really slithering, kind of like rolls its mass across the floor, twisting and contorting in order to move across the dusty floor. The now once slick surface is completely coated in clods of dirt and dry clay as it moves across the ground towards Melusine, closing in.
I'm going to snap my fingers for Bernard to kill it.
Bernard will kill it. It's not hard.
I'm gonna.
As Bernard brings his blade down and smashes into the cobbles, the intestines unravel and turn to dust, melting onto the cobbles.
Well, maybe you were just heading in the direction it was going.
No, I changed direction. It followed me.
It definitely was following her.
Like I said, it was your headdress.
I think that we should just destroy the rest of the things in the drawers, just in case. Kill them all.
Well, you want to check them out first? Open them up.
It's the only way to
Well,
do
they
it.
just chase me. This is the second time this has happened.
I agree with Gary. We should open them up, check them, and then if they're weird, then destroy them.
And what?
Also,
Maybe they're not
not-
all. Maybe they're not all creepy crawly organs. Maybe something useful is in one of them.
What'd you say, Eve?
I was just saying, why are they alive? That's what I want to know.
Well, all of you did notice earlier that the canopic jars have a essence of magical energy around them. I want to say at
Maybe
least
this
one
is
of you.
detecting superior magic, and they're going toward that source.
That's why I ate it. Thought it would give me powers. Clearly, it didn't.
Well, yeah, that's a big intestine, dude. I don't know if you can handle that. Wait, you said there's another donkey in here. It's What's up with the donkeys? There's two donkey jars we found.
Donkey jars.
Something about donkeys in here.
Donkey.
Definitely.
They're still on
Let's
there.
open the donkey.
All right, so Gary, back in the canonic jar room, ready for round 2, pops open the 5th.
On your guard, the donkey's
Canonic
coming.
This one is marked with the symbol of the donkey, and as you pop it open, a roughly triangular-shaped, large brown organ sort of flops out of the inside of the canonic
The liver.
jars and kind of distends itself over the base of the jar.
Sounds like the liver.
And after a moment, the glistening surface of the large organ begins to contract and flop its way onto the floor, collecting a large amount of dirt and dust as it does, before it begins to inch its way slowly across the floor towards the exit, Gary. Right past you.
The exit is in towards
Like
the direction of
four-way
Melocene
intersection,
again?
which coincidentally is back towards Melocene.
Melocene, quick,
Damn
run
it!
here. Let's see if the liver wants to come to you too. Then we know something's wrong with you. Come see if you can make it change directions.
I'm gonna change direction to see if it follows me.
Well, you might need to get close. This one's a slow one. It's like a caterpillar.
Oh, no, it's disgusting.
Well, as
It'll
soon
take
as
10
it
minutes to get you.
as soon as it makes its way to the four-way intersection and somehow gains an awareness of Melocene's whereabouts, the liver as well begins to accelerate across the cobbles, inching just a little bit more quickly,
Oh,
moving
no.
just a little bit more speed. You guys,
All right.
you guys cut in line.
But Bernard? I guess.
No. All right.
Can you handle this one?
I am tired of disgusting organs trying to find me, so I'm going to just stand still and let the disgusting liver catch up to me and
Okay.
maybe touch my foot.
Okay.
But I will need to be
Ugh.
completely sanitized afterward.
It does indeed touch your foot, and the large liver reaches your foot and somehow begins to wrap itself around your heel, inching its way up.
I'm shaking my foot like it's the newest dance craze. And I will tell Bernard to get it off of me, and he can cut off my damn leg if he needs to.
Well,
Just see what happens.
No.
No! He's gonna swallow me!
all right.
Quick, Thorok, eat it.
Did you tell Bernard to
It's
kill it?
over.
I'm full. I'm already
Liver,
full.
give me alcohol!
Did you tell Bernard to kill it?
I told him to get it off of me.
All right, Bernard, with his hands, pulls it off your ankle, but you can see that it is still like a live amoeba trying to twist and contort itself. The edges of it are constantly pulling like a fat tentacle, so that it is always angling towards you, constantly trying
How's
to
my
be closer
ankle?
to you. It's
And
a
my
little-
foot.
It's a little slobbery, but
It's not like discolored or dying or.
it didn't actually touch skin. It touched your
Okay, great.
shoe and whatnot.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to cut off a little piece of my hair and
Okay.
put it on the ground, and then have Bernard put it and let it see if it eats my hair.
It doesn't seem to have any effect at all. It slides right over the hair.
You have
Let's see,
something
are
in
you
your
wearing
pocket.
the headdress?
She
Yes,
is
you
Always.
have in your pockets.
Okay, Benob, hold the liver up to the headdress and see if that's what it's going towards.
Don't let it touch it.
It
Priority.
completely ignores the headdress and goes straight
Okay.
for Melocene.
Mm-mm.
There's something about you it wants. This
What else do you have in your
it wanted
pockets?
you in some kind of way, and all of its organs want at you.
Finally, something wants me.
Did you take something from the Guardian? The guy that
No!
they
I don't
found? Did you take
anything.
anything of his?
Not that I remember.
Well,
I want to just in my mind just think
Bernard's
that.
like looking at you with this like, you want me to solve this problem for you?
No, I'm just going to tell him to keep holding it, do the best he can. And I want to think to my headdress. I'm just going to think, like, why is this coming after me, to see if I get some kind of something from my headdress.
A consciousness awakens in your mind as you think at it.
I like that phrase.
You feel more than hear or see, but you hear, you feel a presence reaching out in your mind, awaiting your question.
Why is this organ coming after me?
All right, you have to say this aloud. Are you saying this aloud?
Out loud?
Mm-hmm.
It's in my head. Why can't I just think it? Okay, I will act like if I'm talking to myself out loud, because highly intelligent people do this. Why is this organ coming after me?
The voice in your mind replies back. She goes, and I do not see any other elves nearby. And this is the organ of a long-buried river elf, my dear.
Should I eat it?
I would
No, you dummy.
I would not recommend it. It
You're
is
probably related somehow, right?
Shut up, dragon.
Okay, that's probably the smartest input in the game so far, and you're going to tell me to shut up. Well, I mean, smartest input tonight. What's a game? I don't know anything. I'm shutting up now.
Such humility. I would recommend keeping your distance, my dear. With this, one could revive a soul using ancient magics of the river elves, but bonded with the wrong individual, it would begin the revivification of that soul within them.
But no, kill it.
And we need to look at Thor.
Yeah. Can I get another doctor?
You want a second
I
opinion,
need a
Thor?
real doctor. Excuse me, I need to go to my temple.
Bernard slams it onto the floor and smashes it in two. It crumbles apart into nothing more than a cloud of dust.
Wonderful. I'm going to keep the rest of these jaws tightly closed. Bernard will carry these for me. We're not opening anymore.
So I just want to clarify, the only person who heard that information is Melusine.
Yes.
Okay.
We heard her talking, though.
Yes, she was definitely
I was
talking to
just
herself.
musing out loud like any intelligent leader.
That's so
Gary
weird.
heard her
She's
say,
talking to
should I
herself.
eat it?
Did you hear that, Gary? That's kind of odd.
She said
Huh.
she should eat it just like you. She's weird like you.
What a weird.
Well,
What's
it
wrong
wasn't
with you?
me, so I was like,
know.
What's
maybe.
wrong with you young people
wasn't
eating random
food,
organs?
They like putting strange things in their mouth.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
I'm
Now,
gonna refrain.
Gary, didn't you say something about a poem that you had to read in front of a door?
Don't.
Right, I found out this. I'm pretty sure this is not the right door. This is the hall of the Devourer.
Do you have a poem for that door?
I don't.
Well, maybe they all need poems to be read in front of them.
All I have is a spell of consecration here, and
His love
Really?
poem is Susan.
more of a history riddle that I have. We can check out can we check out these little alcoves here and see?
I mean, yeah. Haven't we been looking? Do we see any tomes or anything like that?
You
don't see any
you don't see any tomes in these rooms. Just the canopic jars and the two sarcophagi. There are also the tunnels. I think Gary was referring to the tunnels that lead out of the two rooms.
Where do we find the last poem? Or story thing or whatever?
On the boat.
And that's supposed to open a door somewhere in this area.
No, apparently the people that read scrolls all died.
If you read them out loud, something happens. Like
I'll just read them quietly.
Everyone that read a scroll in Sazim's journal dropped it. So I'm sure those scrolls are probably close to their bodies if we find them.
Maybe they're in the sarcophagus. Sarcophagi.
Well, I know 100% one's in the Death Temple. But apparently they could not make it through this door. He spoke of this door. Sazim, in his journal, talked of a stone door they could not pass, which was this one.
What information?
And they also found one of these statues that they brought with them, and apparently there's an elevator nearby, a broken elevator. And that led them in the direction that they went. So if we can find a path that leads us to some sort of broken elevator, I believe maybe one of these tunnels or something should take us.
Well, why don't we go check out the tunnels?
The northern one, towards the door, you see? The one that doesn't lead to south? I guess the one in the room I'm in, the other one?
This one? Yep. The one that the room that Gary's in, excuse me.
Yes, that one. Yes, that one. Just saw you point to it, yes. That one.
I forget
but I don't
the time delay.
This is all just going off a hunch in his journal. Maybe we can scout out that tunnel and see if it's... There's definitely traps, though, ahead.
I'm fine with traps as long as they're not organs that are trying to devour me.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, you got a rogue here that can go find the traps.
Yes! Send the rogue!
Right, so someone who's good and sneaky maybe should check it out first ahead of us. Definitely not me. I'm old and fat.
Well, at least you're honest.
What do I need to do to go check this out?
Which tunnel do you want to check out?
The one you pointed at.
So in this room, there are two tunnels. There's one that faces the door that you guys haven't gone through, and one that goes back the way that you guys came.
The one we haven't gone through?
Yeah.
Right, yes, that's the one he wrote of, I think, in the journal.
Okay.
Towards the door.
Eve, as you approach the depression in the ground, you see that it is indeed a dark tunnel that leads down, but you can tell that there was once a wooden covering over this tunnel. It has long since rotted through and fallen to the floor. So this tunnel would have been concealed at one time with fake flagstones above it, but those two have broken onto the floor and now rest on the steps going down into this tunnel. It's dark, but it is wide enough for a person to walk through.
Yeah, well, I've got dark vision, so no issues there.
Okay. As you proceed down the tunnel, it's featureless and smooth carved stone and leads in a straight path directly ahead.
Okay, I'll proceed.
Okay. As you head down the tunnel, after about 20 feet down the tunnel, you see that there is a stone wall directly ahead of you.
Okay.
The stone wall is 20 feet down the tunnel, so you probably see that almost right away as you go down the tunnel.
Yeah.
And you can see that the stone wall has set into it a small little slit in the stone, almost like a door handle.
Okay. I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay. So, as you slide the stone aside, it smoothly parts.
We all gonna die.
Did she notice anything after she opened the door?
Hold on.
He's rearranging.
He's getting there.
takes me a second to set this up.
Oh, I thought you were giving us a dramatic pause.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that's all me. I'm
Well, you
being-
open the
I'm
door
very-
and that's it.
very, very dramatic here. Okay.
Too dramatic, if you ask me.
No one asked you.
That was like a perfect time for it to freeze.
Okay.
Okay.
Set up. Eve, you come through the wall. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're resetting the camera.
Yep, because
It's not me. I'm just so happy.
just it's just the way that this is gonna go, apparently.
Yeah,
All right.
apparently.
So, Eve,
We.
you step into a room that, as you look around it, you can see that there are twin sets of columns and the appearance of 2 stone altars set into the center of the room here. A door on either side of the room leads to the left and to the right. Set into the alcoves on the left and on the right, in the 4 corners of the room, you can see crude wooden pyramid-shaped stacks of ancient scrolls, rolled up, tightly bound with wooden dowels on either end. Looks vaguely like a library or some kind of temple.
Of course, you would find that.
Would you roll me a perception check?
Oh, man.
This is going to be something that's going to be obviously available from the way that you, obviously apparent from the way that it looks.
I got a 3. Perception's not my forte.
The room gives you a deep feeling in your in the pit of your stomach that something makes you feel uneasy about this room.
Okay.
Dark power.
How far away are the scrolls from me?
They're within 10 feet, the ones on either side of the room. So you got scrolls in each corner of the room here. And you've just basically stepped out of the wall to the north. Can you see it on the map?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda.
Here.
Well, the stream is still catching up with the...
I see.
Yeah. Okay. I want to make my way over to the scrolls.
Okay. Was anyone else going down the tunnel with Eve?
No.
Nope. We're waiting on her.
Okay. Eve, you arrive over at the stack of ancient scrolls. Many of these scrolls are rotted through, and you can tell they're just completely ruined. A few of them are still intact, and those are the ones that you can tell just by looking at them are very, very finely crafted.
Okay.
As you step further into the room and as you kind of like look around the room, you can see that the well-carved hieroglyphic murals that band around the room seem to tell a story of judgment and death, recounting the tale of a mortal's birth, their toil through life, their eventual death, and then the long story covering a good 2/3 of the band around the room recounts the many trials and questions they face before Lord Thoth, as the god Anubis sits in judgment, and Amit sits behind them, waiting to devour them should they answer the question incorrectly. In every case, the elf who seems to be being asked the question appears to answer correctly until finally Lord Thoth places a feather beside the heart on the scale, and the scales remained balanced. And the story ends. Do we lose them again?
Yeah, looks like it.
Hey.
So, meanwhile, back at the ranch, what are you guys doing back in the other room?
I would say waiting for.
I don't know if it's
Lisa.
safe or not. I was waiting to see if it was safe to go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
I go over to.
Happens, guys. Don't worry about it. So
Maybe we should just go. Oh.
So, what part did you hear, Eve?
Last thing I heard was about the gods and judgment, and Ahmet waiting for, if they fail the question, consuming the soul.
Yep. So the mural goes all the way around the room, but 2/3 of the mural is devoted to this hieroglyphic story of an elf being judged by Lord Thoth, apparently having to answer a variety of questions. And then finally, at the end, Lord Thoth places a feather on a scale beside their heart, and the scale remains balanced, and the story ends.
Does it look like it's a elf of any import, or
It definitely looks like an elf of import.
are there any names and hieroglyphs as to who the elf is?
Nope. It looks like an elven noble.
Okay, and how many of the scrolls are in good condition and intact?
So there are, in all, do a quick count, there are 6 scrolls that you can see are still in good condition here.
I'm going to take the scrolls.
Okay.
What? And I'll head back to the party, let them know what I found. If they want to explore, feel more than welcome, but I'll let them in on what I found.
Oh! I'm so sorry. I forgot something to mention. So, as you looked into the room past the scrolls, before you left, you noticed that there was a body.
Right, that's what I was asking about.
Sorry. I had a note here.
I figured that's where he was.
Yeah. The body of he's been dead a while, but he's not dead as long as these mummies. Looks to be a dead tiefling dressed in a rotting robe with his staff. His staff still clutched in his hand.
I want to examine the body and kind of loot it.
Roll an investigate check.
You're being a rogue.
I am a rogue. Very few times I get to be a rogue. I got a 7.
Okay. You're able to discern that the staff definitely is magical, but you can't tell what kind of magic it is. You also find a wizard's spell book, but you can't understand the writing or script that's inside it. Only that it appears to have been written written by a magical user in some kind of code.
And are there any scrolls, like what Gary had said this person had been reading at the time of their death?
No, but his body is badly burned, and his left hand in particular is charred almost to the point where the bones are blackened.
So it's probably been burnt up too. Okay, anything else of use or any import to notice?
Nope, that is everything. Aside from the 2 doors and the twin altars, that is what the Yep, that's what you see inside this room.
All right. I'll take the staff and the book and make my way back to the party and tell them it's safe and tell them what I found and let the magic users see the book and the staff.
I would like to read that book, please.
I'll pass the book to you.
Woohoo! Can I read it?
Who wants the magic staff?
I'll take the staff.
Okay.
You'll be able to reach things now.
Melusine, you are up a wizard's spell book.
Ew.
Well, whatever you do, do not read the scrolls. Everyone that read a scroll, you said you found a dead man there.
Oh,
That dead man has to be Benfu. Let's go.
read them out
Gary's
loud.
gonna go ahead and
Just read them to yourself.
go to that body.
Who? What? Where? You're gonna. So Gary goes to go look for the body.
Yeah, Benfu, he believes.
Okay. Thoric, you have a wizard's staff.
Thank you.
Do you want to roll an investigate check, an arcana check on this?
Yes, I would. Sorry, I was trying to look it up on here, but I'll just go ahead and do an investigate check. 12.
Okay. As you examine this staff, you're fairly certain that this material is not very common that it is made out of. It almost seems to pulsate. The black wood has red veins that run through it, and you can see light moving inside those veins occasionally. It's almost like light shining from inside the staff.
Like it's alive.
More like there's more like there's energy inside it.
Cool.
You're aware that while wielding this staff, you will gain +1 attack and damage with any arcana spell that you cast, any arcane spell that you cast. And this staff can be used to bind a spell into it. It requires 1 hour to do so. And it currently has the spell Mind Spike bound into it with 1 charge.
Okay.
Which is an arcane spell. Okay, so Gary or Eve, who's going first?
Go ahead, like Gary. Gary was saying something first.
Gary, you head back to the tunnel.
Yes, I want to go check out the area where he was.
All right.
All the scrolls are gone.
All of the non-ruined scrolls are gone. Yes, there are a number of long rotted scrolls that look like they've gone bad a long time ago. They probably didn't have any kind of preservation on them.
Which door was he on? The north one or the south one?
He was facing the door, the door furthest away from your view right now. The one to the left when you come in the room.
Well, all right. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go. Kind of open. Is that door open?
No, both these doors are
I'm gonna
locked.
see if it's
But
open.
both these doors are shut. Excuse me.
I'm gonna push at it, see if
Okay.
it'll give.
The left door does not give. Interestingly, you don't see any mechanism for opening this door either. In fact, the surface of this door, now that you look at it, has exactly the same aspect as the door that you came from in the four-way intersection that you couldn't get through. As you look in the stone, the image of Anubis, the dog, appears inside the stone. It's sort of lightly in relief there.
Anubis.
So Andy, I'm gonna go back in there. You said there was an altar.
2 altars, yes, ma'am.
I want to go examine the altars.
Okay. Roll me an investigate check, ma'am.
Nat 20.
Holy smokes. All right. As you examine these, you notice the hieroglyphs that are carved into them are glyphs of preservation. They mark mark this place as a place of consecration and last rites for a body that is now about to pass out of this life and into the next. A body prepared here should be prepared to rise again, according to these hieroglyphics. You're fairly
say rise again. How?
You're fairly certain that this room is a mortuary temple or a death temple. This would have been where the river elves would have performed the religious rites on a body and prepared them to have their organs removed. This would have been like the nicer version. So think of it as kind of like a funeral home. This would have been a place where you could have viewed the person that was to be buried. They would have had the last religious rites performed for them here. And then, before they were interred, in another room, they would have had their organs removed and they would have been embalmed and mummified.
Mm.
But this room is where any religious rites would have been performed.
Okay. So there's nothing like any place for statues to be put?
No place for statues to be placed put in this room.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. I guess I'll go where Gary is looking at the door.
Okay. Gary's looking at the door to the left.
And I'll let him know. So I did find some scrolls if you're interested in looking through them.
Yes.
All right.
I want to look through them. However, we should not read them aloud. We need to make sure we do not read them aloud.
Okay.
Agreed.
So.
Yeah, I want to kind of sift through them. I'm not reading anything aloud, though.
No mumbling.
Not even mumbling.
No mumbling.
No mumble rappers here. No? Okay.
Okay. So, as you open these scrolls, as I say, there are 6 scrolls. So you open one of them. You roll it out, and kind of like carefully unwrap it. Gary and Eve, I want you both to roll an investigate check. So you both can roll, and we will use the highest run.
I'd rather roll and save.
I got 11.
Okay. Gary?
I got you said investigate?
Yes, sir.
21.
Okay.
21.
As the two of you examine the scroll together, sort of like quietly pointing and not saying the words, but pointing them out, you become certain that this first scroll here is at the invocation of Atnutep.
Oh, jeez.
Atnutep.
Invocation.
Mm-hmm.
New temp.
And Gary, the gist of this scroll is that the speaker of this scroll sacrifices their soul to Lord Anubis, pledging it to serve in perpetuity the Lord of the Dead and his tomb. You feel so.
I'm gonna lean to Eve and say, "We need to get one of those spare dwarfs to read this."
I don't think they can read the glyphs.
All they have to do is read the scroll and it'll open the door, but they're gonna die. Just don't tell them that part.
I didn't hear that, but I would agree if I had.
Sometimes you live long enough to become the villain.
All right. As you carefully
on to the next
as you carefully roll that scroll back together, you notice the paper doesn't even crinkle like a normal wooden scroll, a normal paper scroll here. And it doesn't appear worn. The delicate writing hasn't faded. All the material seems in good condition, and you become certain, the two of you, that this is a magical scroll. Some kind of magic similar to the magic that preserved the mummies, similar to the magic that preserved the hieroglyphics, is in effect, and the magical lattice work that holds this scroll, that was set on the scroll when it was created, is still intact and still preserves the scroll right now. So as you open the second scroll is an incantation. Oh, sorry. Roll me an investigate check. Each of you roll me an investigate check. Got carried away there.
Got excited?
No.
I got an 11.
$13.
Okay. Between the two of you, you're able to discern that this is the incantation of Set. This one's pretty easy to decipher. The clear storm symbolism leaves little doubt in your mind that this is the incantation of Set. You're not really sure what it says, though, or what it actually does. Looks like it has something to do with death, destruction, storms.
Yeah, let's definitely not read that one.
Also, definitely makes mention of foreigners. Not sure why, but they're thrown in there just for good measure.
I think it's safe to say we shouldn't read any of these out loud.
Yes, let's put a star. Let's put an asterisk on this one. This one is
safe for later.
Yes.
Abandoned quest.
A secret letter we want to send an emissary somewhere. Maybe they'll read aloud.
All right.
A
So
good story for your children.
do you guys just want to keep opening the scrolls?
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone else.
How many was there?
There's six.
Oh, jeez. All right. Yeah, gotta figure out what they do.
All right. You open the third scroll. The third scroll looks identical to the last scroll that you opened.
Set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Takes you but a moment to recognize that this scroll is exactly the same, very carefully copied. There may be slight differences in the way that the words are angled and whatnot, but you're certain that the script is identical.
Okay.
All right, you don't even need to roll an investigate check, because that I'm not going to make you. You just discern that you now have two of the incantations of Set. The fourth scroll will require an investigation check.
Okay. 18.
16.
All right. The invocation of Anubis. Open.
Another one?
Mm-hmm. This begins the rite of the Lord of Death, opening the door to his tomb.
Door opening.
But
Wait, I thought the last one opened the door.
no, the other one just said something about offering a soul
And opening the door.
and opening a door. But this one does not say offering a soul and just
He hasn't
opening the
finished
door.
yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Begin-
saying. Shut up.
Begins the rite and opens the door to Lord Anubis's tomb.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, let's hold on to this
No,
one. This
you're not
one
there.
is
I'm over your
This one's good.
You don't know what it
That's
says.
the fourth one. All right.
This one, let's put this aside. This one's a good one. Maybe we'll read this.
Yep.
The last scroll that you, the fifth scroll that you open up, as you unroll the scroll, I need another investigate check. Go
11.
team investigation.
That one's a mod 20.
Okay. Alrighty. The incantation of Rehabek. This one looks very familiar to you, Gary. As you read the text on it, it is a scroll of consecration.
Another one.
No.
Concentration.
Consecration.
Orange juice.
The sixth and final scroll that you unravel also is a scroll of consecration, leaving you with now 3 scrolls of consecration.
Well, now we have 3 of these. They might be useful. All right, good. Good to know. Let's tell the others about this one that opens the door, maybe.
Yep. You're like, these are forbidden to be spoken out loud. This one may be okay.
Yes. There's 2 that definitely probably kill you, and then there's one that 100% will kill you and open the door. And there's one that will just open the door.
It's like Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. Choose wisely.
Are we choosing the chalice, basically?
Yeah, it's basically the chalice.
I had that line prepared to say.
Oh, David, I stole it.
You're absolutely right. All right. So, as you get back to the group, all right, you all share that information. Anything you guys don't share?
No, we'll
All
share gold.
So everyone is up that information, and you now know that you have these 6 scrolls from the mortuary temple.
I'll read. I volunteer as tribute.
You don't know what they say. You don't know.
You
how
just
to-
explained what the scrolls do.
Yeah, what
you
they
explained
say,
that-
but you have to read it in Egyptian.
Yeah. So only those of you who can speak River Elf, I'm going to say, or have studied River Elf, are going to be able to do this. You, Oren, you could definitely try, but any of you who speak more than one language are fairly certain that this is going to be very difficult to do if you haven't actually studied River Elf.
How different is it from
I
my
recommend
Elven?
Bard.
Yeah, you can't really do the whole repeat after me thing with this scroll. It's the
No.
first one.
Yeah.
Repeat it to get it. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if I could talk, I would totally be able to do this, but I'm a dog.
Just hold it for the dog. Yes, what a shame.
No, I fucking hate you.
Well, how different is it than the Elven
Yeah,
language?
Mom, thanks a lot.
Because I would think in Elven language maybe I could.
It's an analogy.
Read it.
Think Old English.
Which kind of Old English are you talking about?
Think
Old English.
Beowulf Old English or like Chaucer Old English?
I'd say probably
The
Beowulf Old
oldest
English.
English.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
different enough that you can easily identify it as an older tongue and an older form of very, very different idioms, very common in their time that now just completely fallen out of use, but recognizable enough in its meaning that you can get the gist of all the sentences pretty quickly. Chaucer would be almost impenetrable if you don't have a good command of the English language, I would say. Right?
Read it, elf. Go in front of the door and read it, you elf. Come on. Read it. This one won't kill you. Take this one.
It'll probably come better coming from yourself anyway.
You want me to just
The one
attempt to read
that
something?
doesn't kill her.
Do it.
Oh, just try your best and read it. Click your heels together.
And if I read it incorrectly, what happens?
You live.
You try again. You read it again. Do it again.
Or I burst into flames?
No, I think the elf should.
Werewolf.
It'd probably come
She
better.
can't. She doesn't understand the glyphs.
I mean, I will attempt to read it, knowing that I.
Did you say? I thought you
All right,
could.
then I'll go Gary.
What? I can't read crap. I can read all.
Everyone's dead.
You just helped her decipher it. I think you can read it.
Wait, what?
Are you scared?
I can read it?
What if you did it in sign language?
So
If you sign languaged it to me, then I can read it.
I just want to make sure my notes are correct here, but I had it written down that Thoric, Gary, and Eve have all studied the River Elves.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I just
can
wrote
read it.
Elvish. I don't even.
We
I don't
can't
know what kind
sacrifice
of
our
elf.
cleric.
I think
No.
I was thinking that,
I just put
that
Elvish.
I can do it.
I think
Why
I was
don't you
thinking
write
that Gary, you had experience with them because you grew up in the area, so it'd become kind of hard for you to not be
Maybe
aware
I
of it.
just put Elvish. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't put the specific elf. Maybe I should have.
Yeah, same here. I just put elf.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, if I could
there's a
know
note
the
for
game,
session 0 next time.
Just somebody
No,
read it.
definitely. Thora,
I
you
will
should read it.
All right.
Eve?
Why don't we draw lots? I mean,
Jeez, Louise, let's.
She says she's going to read it.
Okay,
Read
Eve. You head back to the mortuary temple. Who goes back into the mortuary temple with her?
I wanna go.
Still there.
We didn't leave.
I thought the two of you went back. I thought everyone was waiting back at the four-way junction. All right, so is everyone in the mortuary temple?
Sure.
Good.
okay.
All right. So,
Yep.
Eve, you unravel. You unroll which of the 6 scrolls?
Wait, hold on. Wait, before you do it, do we need to rest? Does anyone need rest or anything?
Yes.
We can't
We
wait
can't do it now.
8 hours.
Like a short rest. Apparently, they put in the journal they rested here.
Yeah, but we've
Malcolm's
already
like,
taken.
I could use a wee breather. If we are to be
Yeah,
going
I need a
after
little
crazy
rest,
green
too.
chick.
Things could get crazy when we open this.
Mhm. I need to rest.
Thor's out of healing. He's out of healing
I'm fine with
spells.
the rest. I mean,
I
the
need more
scroll's
butter.
been here for hundreds of years. It'll last 8 hours.
More hot butter. Hot butter is needed. Sweet hot butter.
Mhm.
All right. So we taking a long rest or a short rest?
Short rest. Yeah, so we're all doing a short rest.
I mean, if we did a long rest, I'd be okay with that.
I'm fine either way.
Hopefully this doesn't spawn the major boss.
Okay, so are we doing a short rest or a long rest?
Apparently, doing a short rest.
Okay. What do you guys want to do
Does
during your
anyone
short
need a long
rest?
Zone out.
I'm going to use my hit die, my last hit die to heal.
Why don't we just take a long rest?
We can't wait here for 8 hours.
Why not?
Well, yeah. Yeah, why not?
You don't know unless you
Just out of
try.
curiosity.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Let's wait here at 8 hours.
Well, what else are we gonna do? We're trapped.
Okay. That's fine. We got those big green things running around looking for us, right?
They're not
No, they
looking for
went
us.
back. They turned around.
They don't care.
Okay.
Go went the other way.
All right. Well, I guess the party's voting for a long rest.
Alrighty. So, you guys bed down.
Wanted a long rest.
The two other dwarves and Malcolm kind of go off in the corner. They all kind of like sit back to back, crossbows and axes at the ready. Malcolm with his heavy metal tube, which he's fiddling with the contraption on the back of it, and you see him like slowly click it down. But he's like resting with his little horned helmet against the other dwarves. What's everyone else doing? Guys, think you froze again? So
Yeah, I think they're frozen.
we are going.
I can hold close watch.
We're going to go ahead and take our break here because it's 8:15, and I think this is a good place to stop. We'll come back as you guys finish your rest. As you all settle in for your rest, I need someone. Let's do eeny, meeny, miny, Eve.
I got it. Oh, I thought I volunteered for the first watch.
What you need from me?
I need a D12 roll, ma'am.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I totally volunteered.
So Gary's on first watch.
Yes.
Who's on second?
Do I add anything to it or just
Nope,
roll?
just straight D12.
I got a 9.
Ooh, okay. So, Gary, as everyone is beginning to bed down and slumber peacefully, I need you to make a perception check, sir. And
Yep.
as we lose Eve and Orn and
It's just a random encounter roll.
10.
10? Okay.
Yeah, 10.
Coming from far away at first, you hear a rising wail echoing through the corridors around you.
How deep into this rest are we? Everyone's passed out now, or is everyone?
It's
At
been
the beginning.
It's been a couple hours here.
Okay. So everyone's good.
Everyone's in that first REM cycle at this point.
I hear a wail, like a wailing noise.
It sounds very familiar. Very.
Is no one else waking up from this wailing noise?
Yeah, it's faint, but you can hear it. Hey guys, your
getting
webcam
louder.
is misbehaving.
Of course
There we go.
it is.
Is it getting louder as it's?
It's definitely gotten louder, but it's not getting any louder now.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of hold. I'm not gonna. It's very far and faint, right?
It seems to be coming from the door that Bemfu was lying in front of.
That sealed door.
Yep.
The silly door.
You got
Okay,
it.
Gary's gonna. I don't want to wake anyone from their rest and ruin anything, but he's definitely creeped out at this moment.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt any rest, but I'm definitely. My hairs are raised.
Just scattered around the room here. Well, as you watch, the form of Bemfu twitches on the ground. And
Okay,
then
now I'm
begins
yelling,
to rise up.
Why?
It rises up.
Wake up!
All right. Bemfu hauls himself to the air, his neck at a awkward angle, his bones clacking in his rib cage together as he lurches forward. Gary, everybody else is going to spend this round waking up. Gary, since you were alert, you may make an action, sir.
What about Dark Eye?
Oh god, Gary's fumbling. Gonna fumble into his pockets and panic read a scroll of consecration.
Oh my god.
Okay, Gary.
Well, we found corpses.
I don't know what that does though. So what?
Maybe they didn't read.
Okay.
That's
Not all the scrolls.
All right.
Still. The consecration ones don't.
So this scroll, as you read it, as you quickly skim read it beforehand, this scroll has a space at the end for a name to be spoken. The name of someone. So the gist of it is that you consecrate this place, you bless this place in the name of...
Me. Melocene.
You read the spell. I need to know.
Do it.
I need to know whom you consecrated in the name of.
consecrating the name of.
My name, say
Oh
my
god, I'm
name.
probably gonna pick the wrong name. Like I gotta pick a deity, right? Down
Yeah.
here, that's... Well,
This break is brought to you by peanut butter. Dogs love it.
I'm gonna choose.
They'll do anything for it.
They'll do
Anything.
I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do it in the name of my my orcish deity.
Ganesh?
Yes.
Ganesh?
Yes.
All right. You read the scroll of consecration. You spend this entire round reading the scroll of consecration. And you realize, as the body of Bemfu begins to turn towards the only noise in the room besides the people clumsily getting to the clumsily coming to wakedness, it's going to take you longer to read this scroll than it will take Bemfu to reach you.
God, I'm gonna backpedal. Gonna backpedal away
Okay.
as I continue to read it as fast as I can.
All right. I'll move Dark Eye over towards you because she would have been over there. All right.
We were spooning. Well, she was laying underneath me, and I was.
All right. I need somebody to roll me an initiative. Thoric. Initiative this round.
Hey.
I rolled a nat 20.
I called Thoric. Listen.
You said somebody, and then you said Thorin.
Thoric, what'd
Yeah,
you
I
get?
got an 8.
You guys win. And with that, we'll do Melocene first. And Orin, you're on deck.
Can I use my nat 20 that I just rolled?
Sure.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Hell yeah.
I'll be fair about it.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Always a strong choice.
Do I need to roll control for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mage Armor on the enemy.
18. Fine. We're fine. It's an 18.
Melusine is illuminated by a faintly bluish glow?
Green is my color.
Green, there we go, greenish. She glows even more radiantly green than before. It's Anne of the Green Gables here. Orn!
Green is puke.
Orn, it's your what's Bernab doing?
Oh,
Sorry, Orn.
thank you for remembering, because I forget him all the time. I'll have him rush forward and attack with
Great.
his long sword.
All right.
Now, we did not reactivate our long rest abilities and stuff, right?
We only got 2 hours of sleep.
All right. As Bernab enters the 5-foot space of Bemfu dances around him with a speed that he should not have. Roll your attack with Bernab.
13.
13? That does not hit. And Bemfu moves to behind Bernab. This thing just flows right around him, and he's going to make an attack.
Super.
How does he get to attack this round?
That's a reaction.
Oh, whatever.
It's a 16 to hit Bernab.
Yes.
All right, Bernab takes 8 points of slashing damage as he's raked with the crusty claws.
8?
8 points of slashing damage. Yes, ma'am.
Stop.
He looking real bad.
Okay. Bemfu leers a toothy grin at you, as it is now Orn's initiative. Eve, you're on deck.
All right. I'm going to charge at him and attack.
Okay.
Then you get the 20.
All right,
nat
so
20.
I got a nat 20, and then my second attack with my other weapon is a 18.
yes, both of those do hit.
All right, so 19 on the first one. Seven damage on the second one, so 26 points of damage.
Jeez. Okay.
And then I will action surge. Or wait, no. I don't think I need to. For now, I'm going to say I action surge. I'm going to use dragon breath on him. Is there any way to point in a direction that I don't hit anyone? Or am I already in that facing direction?
Pretty sure you're going to hit somebody. It's a 15-foot cone, right?
Yeah.
1, 2... Well, actually, if you go straight forward, you won't hit anyone except for him.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Yep. Gary is just... He might get a light, cool breeze.
He needs to make a dex save.
12?
You freaking just made it.
Oh, okay.
Can I see it real quick? Please.
Okay. So he flows just out of the way as cool air bursts through the chamber. All of you feel vaguely refreshed. And with that, it'll be over to Eve. Bard, you're on deck.
All right. Feel good about that.
How's that femur?
All right, I'm gonna shoot with my longbow.
Oh, he still takes damage from my stuff.
10 to hit.
That does not hit, and you are firing into close combat, so I need you to roll again. Do you guys freeze?
Yeah, looks like it.
I shall roll for her.
They restarted their router.
Voila! She hits! Who's she gonna hit?
Benfu? That's the only person there,
On,
right?
on a high, she hits Orn. On a low, she hits... she hits Orn. Orn is hit on a 18. I think that actually does hit him.
Yeah, it does.
It was an 8 on the dice, an 18 on the die, and with her dex, I'm pretty sure that puts it over a 20. So I'm just going to put a note here that Orn suffers, we'll say, 6 points of piercing damage from the arrow. And with that, it'll be over to Gary.
Bard.
Holding on Bard. Thorok, you're on deck.
Gary's going to keep reading. You said I couldn't finish it last turn. I'm trying to finish the spell.
Gary, you're over halfway done with this incantation.
Let's finish it. Just keep reading.
Yep, it's going to take at least one more round.
It's going to take 3 total rounds.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 3 full rounds.
Yavo.
Oh, man.
Oh, Bob Saget. Let's keep reading it. I'm gonna backpedal away.
Yep. Got it.
And keep reading.
And
can I get moved away from his location?
You're not in melee with him. All right, so you guys cut out where Eve had fired into combat with her bow. She missed, and then I rolled again for you. Eve successfully hit Orn. She rolled an 18 on the die to hit Orn, and so Orn took 6 points of piercing damage.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
That's not really.
No,
That's not
I only
really.
got one attack, so you can't say that you rolled for me again.
You missed in close combat, so you hit. You had to roll against Orn or.
Close combat.
I was in combat with him.
So was Ben-Ab.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so 6 points of piercing damage to Orn, and Bard, you're on deck instead of Thorok. Thorok, you're on deck after Bard. We will.
Did you get my message about he actually received 4 points of damage from my breath attack?
Because he suffers damage even if he passes his save, right?
Yeah, it's half damage, and I rolled a 9 for the damage.
Gotcha.
So it'd be 4 rounded down.
Yep. All right. Yeah, he looks a little chilly. And with that, it will be. I feel like I missed something. All right, so Gary's finishing his.
Bard.
You're not engaged, Gary. Bard's your initiative. Thorok, you're on deck.
I was going to try and gnaw at his leg, but I missed on a natural 1.
Did you leap up onto one of the 2 altars?
Yeah, okay. We'll say I did that.
All right.
And I am just trying to look menacing.
Okay.
This big scary thing.
Gotcha.
And I guess I'll use my last mantle of inspiration to burst in a purpley, purple color to put the fear of God in my enemies. And everybody gets, I believe, 1d6 of hit points. Everybody can use their movement right now without attack of opportunity. If you need to get out of there. What was the other thing?
So 1d6 for hit points?
No, it's just everybody gets 5 temporary hit points.
Oh.
Okay. 5. You can move right now with no disadvantage as far as attack of opportunity. And yeah, that's it.
Well, I'm not moving.
I want Bernard to come back to stand next to Melusine.
He's going to suffer an attack of opportunity if he leaves.
Not with his inspiration.
No, I am so sorry. That's right. It's a free move. I'm sorry. Ben-Ab ducks away.
Go lie down.
Yeah, and that was for Bernard, Orn, Gary, and Eve. Because I can only do 4.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
I did what?
So you get 5 temporary HP.
Thoric, it's your initiative, and then it's Team Good Guys.
Cool. Can I dual wield the staff and my mace?
The mace is a two-handed weapon.
I have it listed here that it is a one-handed weapon.
Oh, you mean the mace, but not the maul. Not the
Yeah,
two-handed.
not the maul. The
Gotcha.
mace. Yeah,
Yes.
the mace and the
Yes.
staff.
Yes.
All right, cool. So I will dual wield both of them, and I'm going to point. Ooh, actually, because they're already engaged in close combat, so if I were to shoot magic at that close combat, I could risk hitting an individual. So
Yes.
bump that.
Yes.
What I'm going to do instead is something a little safer. I'm going to cast, because this is an undead creature, correct?
Yes, sir. It is. It just
Super undead.
just screams undead.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on him. My second level Healing Word, and yeah, he's gonna take 2d4. Wait, hold on.
That is okay. No, that's a yep. That's actually a good idea.
Hold on. It's gonna take 6 damage. Ugh.
Okay. He takes it. I mean, it. You definitely see the bones begin to almost morph off of him as he glows and just boils off of him. And with that, it will be over to Team Good Guys. And since Orn and Bard are the two nearest to him, and he doesn't really seem to even acknowledge Bard, he's going to turn and spit his fury on Orn. Oh my god.
They're
Wow.
resetting.
Alright, well, he tears Orn a new one. That's 16 points of slashing damage. So I'll just put it. Hey guys.
Hey!
Alright, so on his initiative, he turns, Bemfu turns, faces Orn, and rakes Orn. The lowest attack that he has is a 22.
The lowest he tapped?
The
How
lowest,
much?
the lowest attack was a 22 to hit.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, that's 16 points of slashing damage, Orn. And with that, I don't think there's anyone. Oh, Malcolm!
Yeah, Malcolm doesn't.
The dwarves!
Malcolm steps forward with his pickaxe.
Dark Eye.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned her earlier.
I don't know why I do Dark
Yes,
Eye on my initiative. I always think Dark Eye's on your initiative, but you're right, it's on my initiative. I need to do a better job of that. All right.
I mean, you've never done it on my initiative.
You're right. It's my internal mind not working. As opposed to my external mind. All right. Dark Eye vaults into the place vacated by Bernab, and she's going to make her attack. She will not hit. And Malcolm sends one of his dwarves forward with a pickaxe. He does it. And smashes into Bemfu, who seems to be barely holding together at this point. And it is time for a new initiative roll, Melusine.
Woohoo! Oh, again. 10.
18.
Damn it.
Alrighty. And with that, it's gonna do. I'll do Dark Eye first this time. Yep. I mean, Dark Eye can't hit the broadside of a barn apparently, and neither can the dwarf this round. But Bemfu, who's angry at
Bad eye. It says she's using her bad eye.
She is using Oh! Ow! All right. He's going to attack Orn because he does not like orange. Orn did a lot of damage to him. Orn, does a 18 hit you?
Yep.
Okay, you take another 8 points of slashing damage.
I'm down.
Does a 15 hit you?
I'm already down.
Okay. They were simultaneous, so. And
I mean, can they hit over a 28?
over.
That one hit?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, then I would just be down.
Gotcha. Fair enough. All right. And with that, it'll be over to. We'll go back the other way. Thoric, you're up, and then Gary, you're on deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast. Let's see where am I at right now on the map? Which is my figurine? It's kind of hard to see on my phone. Would you mind pointing that and holding it there for 10 seconds? Okay, now can you also point towards Mr. Orm?
This gentleman right here.
Sorry, wait for the delay. Okay, I'm gonna run towards Orn and use Cure Wounds to touch my second slot one. And be 17 health back to Orn.
You are healed.
Boom. Be blessed.
Be blessed.
That's his name.
All right.
Did that work? I'm just-
Gary, your initiative, sir. Bard, you're on deck.
Well, I think I can finish that scroll now. I've been
As you
reading it for 3 rounds.
as you
Might as
reach
well finish it off.
as you reach the end, you speak the name.
Nothing happens.
Ganesh.
Skadoosh.
The entire room illuminates in your color of choice, purple, I believe.
Pink.
That's
Let's go with like a turd brown.
Ew.
The room is the color of barf. As the
But like a shiny
Oh,
turd,
happy.
like a nice polished, you know.
like a polished turd.
I lick the walls.
Yeah.
Okay. Bemfu screams and clatters to the ground, his bones disassociating from the joints and the magical energy that was holding them together completely dissipating. The room is altered somehow, feeling cleaner, safer, and protected by some force. This is to you, Gary. All of you can notice...
Whoever said you can't polish a turd?
Did I not mention to them that gut feeling I had about it being like a dark presence in the room?
I figured that they would get that same sense whenever they got it, whenever they walked in there, but it no longer feels that way. This room, well, how does this room feel, Gary?
Like a polished turd. Like a nice...
What
Beautiful.
presence?
Good.
What
Good
presence
look.
does Grincha bestow upon this room?
Ganesh?
A very,
Sorry.
a very
Grincha.
elephantic presence.
Of course.
The-
So it's gigantic.
All of you have the sense, Gary, you in particular, but all of you somehow have this almost concept in your mind that you can overcome any obstacle before you. And Gary, you know why.
So we're like in a Tony Robbins seminar here.
Sure.
Exactly.
There you go.
Tony Robbins just... your
pumped
whole
up.
head.
Gary,
You
you
just
hadn't
got a
suffered
whole-
any
you got
damage.
Your whole head.
You hadn't suffered any damage, right?
I have 5 temporary hit points
Okay.
from Bard's
You can
special
add
thing.
yourself an inspiration die, sir.
Just went to a yes man seminar.
Yes, man.
All right.
Whoa.
No, man.
All right.
The room quiet once again. All of you can return to your bedrolls.
Nice and clean, and here we can finish that now.
was that? What the heck?
The speakers.
Um,
Well, we
That was the-
he's afraid.
The sound of the turn consecration.
All right,
And that was the
The turn of consecration.
Gary. It feels like maybe now's the time for you to tuttle on off to bed. Who's else is going on watch?
I'm tired.
I'll watch.
Okay.
It's okay, baby.
So Melusine going on watch. I need one more D12 roll Thoric. Popcorn Thoric.
boom, boom. 9.
Again?
Fortunately, it
You
changes.
said D12.
Yeah, it's D12.
Yeah.
All right, so after 8 more hours, all of you awaken well rested. Those of you who needed 8 hours. After 4 hours, those of you who needed needed 4 hours are well rested after that. And all of you have all of your spells back. And with that,
Yay!
all right. All of you awaken, feeling rested and reinvigorated for the day.
Oh, man.
Well, all right. Well, now we can get back to reading that other scroll and getting through that door.
Let's do it.
Maybe we should eat some pancakes or some prunes first. Get some energy.
Do you have any prunes left?
Yeah.
Yes, I have
you can eat
two.
them.
I have 2 prunes left, sir. Voice in my head. There's 2 prunes. I had 12 at the beginning. Lots of prunes.
We've got our priorities straight.
So now we're going to go back to the door and read.
Oh, who was reading that? Which one of you was gonna read?
I said I was gonna read it.
Wait, I'm gonna go to Eve, and I'm going to cast Guidance, which is, I think it's like an extra D4 to any ability check of your choice.
It is.
Would this be
Okay.
considered an ability check, though?
Huh?
I'm just reading.
If he asks, sir.
Well, just in case, Eve can use it whenever.
Okay.
So in case we need you to scout more, so bam, there you go.
Remember, that's a concentration spell, so if you cast another concentration spell, it goes away.
It's a cantrip.
Still think it's a concentration spell.
I don't know. It says cantrip right here.
And under the spell properties, it's going to say concentration if it's a concentration spell.
Or the casting, or yeah, the properties.
It should work while she reads it, though.
Eve, are you reading the spell? Are you reading the scroll?
Yes.
All right. Which one? Which scroll?
I'm reading the one that mentions opening the door without death or having to make a sacrifice.
All right. So the
boring one.
The red pill.
The very, the very vanilla.
The invocation of Anubis.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. As you do, the door snaps open, sliding smoothly. Orin rushes through.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I need a dexterity save with disadvantage.
Oh, I yelled, "Watch for traps!"
I'm joking, Orin.
Oh, okay,
good. Very good.
Yes. All right.
Very, very.
I could use guidance
All
whenever.
right.
Okay, cool.
Orin, as you step through into the other room. Let's see if we can do this.
Yeah, but it is a concentration up to 1 minute.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'll just
All
use
right.
it whenever you need to do stuff.
Yeah, it's a really awesome spell, but
All right. Beyond the walls, you see a dark pyramid, the walls of which are made of skulls and bones, tightly packed together. The dark room illuminated green, a brilliant green, the light invisible at the very top of this pyramid ahead of you.
I'll stop and wait for everyone else to follow.
Yeah.
This looks like a boss room.
Yeah.
Boss
Like,
fight.
you're like, oh, I should wait for the rest of the party.
Okay, so we're gonna just move these guys off the
Call
table
that,
here.
There's a saying for that when you go like,
Hedro?
no. They use a name.
Leroy Jenkins?
Yeah, Leroy Jenkins. I'm not doing that.
Leroy
Jenkins. All right.
I'm thinking.
Melusine, that mage armor is going to stay on you for like an hour, right? Well, actually, it's gone because you guys. It's been 8 hours.
Yeah, we took a rest.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's funny.
I can't remember the name.
She cast the spell for this moment, not the moment in battle. She preemptively casted it.
All right.
9 hours in.
As you all enter the room here. No, it was definitely right then, Gary.
Okay.
I actually was readying an action for like 9 hours.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I didn't hear the
So
stated premise.
That's how I understood it. I understood it that way. So
Resident rules lawyer. All right.
What was that, Bard?
Is that? I didn't quite catch that.
He's out of breath.
He's very excited.
Okay. And what?
I want to remind the group this is
Bouncing.
Neris died at the top of that pyramid. Her body's up there. We've been fighting her. This is where she ended her life. She read a scroll at the top of that pyramid and died.
It seems they didn't pick the right scrolls to read.
No, it says his journal said when she reached the top of the pyramid, she read a scroll none of them had seen her carry, and suddenly she dropped dead.
Ooh.
I wonder if it's still up there.
Right, well, it might be exhausted.
You walking by music.
I could fly up
There's
there.
definitely something up there. Maybe some clues on her actual body. Her dead, old, decayed body's up there. But I'm pretty sure she's probably around here. I heard wailing last night in this area.
All right. So, the last two things that you notice, that there is a massive statue of a figure on one end, the other.
Oh,
A statue.
Yep. You can see.
That's pretty big.
Okay.
All right.
I like gargoyles.
At the base of each statue rests an altar. It's very different when I draw it out. Okay. As you step into the room, the head of a... it is an ibis. The head of an ibis, which I would say Eve, Melusine, Thoric, Gary, actually all of you have seen an ibis in this area. The crane-like birds. The head of an ibis in stone peers at you from just over the pyramid, directly from the top of the pyramid. To the right in the room, the head of a dog carved out of obsidian stands posed as if in a snarling bite. The room is illuminated green.
Green, like Melusine.
Yep. It glows kind of an eerie, uncomfortable green.
Oh, that's just Melusine.
You know, their consecration scroll, right?
Another consecration of turds.
Yeah.
We have two more.
We could.
Smear shit all over this.
Do we do
room.
a concentration of piss?
Can we reuse the scrolls, like the consecration
Oh,
scrolls?
I'm sorry. No, the one that
what happened after
the one
I
that
read
Gary finished reading melted away in his hands.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're down to 2.
And then what you?
All right.
Are we into actions, or can I still do something?
You guys can do anything. You're all standing at the
Okay.
entrance of the room. The doors the doors slide shut behind you with a faint click.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
why
bless.
It's not good.
Did anyone get squished?
All right, I'm gonna bless Orn, Gary, Melusine, and Eve. You guys get a D4 to any attack or save throw.
How long does that last?
Let me get real quick.
I had it right here. I'll look it
It
up.
lasts up to a minute.
So you might want to wait.
Okay.
I already said it out loud.
You can ready in action.
Ready in action, bless spell.
What's the key?
If anything,
What's the trigger?
what has to happen?
A creature has to appear in the room and attack us. An attack, essentially.
Okay.
Appear
Is anyone else?
and attack.
All right. You're all standing
attack.
at just in the entrance here. Thoric is casting a spell. Melusine, are you doing anything?
Not yet.
Gary, are you doing anything?
Well, nothing's happening here. I'm just gonna meander and kind of
Orn.
casually walk towards the dog statue.
Okay. Gary's moving this way, accompanied by Cyclops.
Okay.
Orn, what you got?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to position myself in between the majority of the party and the temple.
What temple?
Or not temple.
Pyramid.
Pyramid.
So, just to make this clear, because I'm not sure this is coming out on the image, but these lines here, these are steps. You can clearly see that you can walk your way up from 4 different sides.
Yeah, I can tell that.
Okay, cool. All right. I wasn't sure if that was coming through on the camera well.
Yeah.
Eve.
My bad. I would have walked up the steps then. Sorry.
I want to fly up to the top to see if her body is up there and the scroll.
Okay. Eve, as you fly forward. Bart, are you doing anything?
I was gonna go stare that dog in the face. Is his head like eye level with the top of the pyramid?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go to the top of the pyramid with Eve and stare down that dog.
All right. So Bard takes up the steps. Gary, you're going up the steps.
Yeah. If there was steps there, I would have. I didn't know those. Yeah, I would have.
Gary,
I
you're
wanted
going to
find
get
a way
to
get
about there. And
Yeah,
Bard,
I'm
I'm going to
close.
say
I'm
you're going to
close.
reach about here, as Eve, with her wings, is going to get to right here, where there is indeed the body of an elven maiden, long dead, the skin sunken across her bones, pulled tight, her hand badly burned, her left hand badly burned. You see
I'm going to yell down, okay, so there's no scroll, but her body is here. I'm going to examine it.
As you move closer, a brighter greenish glow appears on the floor around her, and rising out of her space, the visage of Nereus appears directly in front of you.
Poop on her.
Oh,
Yep.
And
oh.
I'm going to backflap.
She's gonna attack you.
Oh.
Bless.
You can try.
Bless.
And
Bless
All
goes
right.
off, right?
you are up a
Yeah.
bless.
Bless has gone off.
All right.
It appears
Yes.
You're all.
Does a
perfectly.
does a 14
Huh?
Eve, does a 14 hit you?
It meets it, so yes.
Okay. You suffer 12 points of psychic damage as you are raked by one of her claws. As she launches at you, screaming at the top of her lungs, "A pact was made! 2 in, 2 out! And now the pact is broken! And I will ne'er see it again! She swings her claws at you.
Two in, two out. What?
I'm out. Like, I'm flying down away from her because I'm almost dead.
Wait,
All right.
was she right in the 5-foot radius?
You can move all the way. Yeah, she was right over the body.
Can I poof into Eve's arms? Just
Eve's in the air.
Like Matt.
like Matt here.
You almost did.
Roll me a poof check.
All right.
Eve, where do you want to move to? Eve,
Huh?
where do you want to move to?
Oh hell yeah.
I'm just gonna like just
Best
move
rolling yet.
away. Like,
So, like, anywhere in particular, or do you not care?
I don't really care.
All right, so
All right.
Probably closer to the party, right?
Eve's gonna.
Yeah,
there.
I want to go fully back,
Okay,
like it's descending down towards the party.
that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Bard, what'd you get?
I rolled a 6, Andy, so I poof.
You are with her. You are in her arms, and with that, it is time for an initiative roll, Gary. Gary, initiative
Well, pretty sure you won.
13.
Yeah, 3.
Okay,
I was trying to think of something.
at the top of the pyramid, next to her body, Nereus throws both of her arms down into the pyramid beside her, and you see twin brass braziers rise out of the floor, moving through her ethereal hands, and the entire pyramid begins to shake. And as it does,
Minions.
the forms of bones begin to claw their way free from the pyramid, all along the sides of the pyramid. You hear
Gary, I think
cracking
you're
and bursting.
Concentration.
Concentrate.
Gary, beside you, a skeletal form claws its way out of the pyramid. In front of Cyclops, another skeletal form claws its way out. Skip. And
I'm not in a good reading position.
Actually, do I have one of those scrolls? One of the
You definitely, I think you have both.
and they're gonna go.
I will read on.
You have to
When
wait.
I had the one. I read the one I had. You have the other two.
Okay, good. I'll read
Okay.
the others when I get a chance.
You sound like
Yeah.
you sound like an old, scared Jerry Seinfeld right there.
And
That's what I am.
they claw themselves free from the pyramid and begin to lurch forward. That's their action. Nereus did her summoning action. Yep.
I'm gonna alert them off
So
this
with that, it is over to you guys, and we're going to start with Millicene.
Did she get a surprise on us or something?
Yeah, that's what she
Yeah,
got.
you're on deck.
This happened.
All right, so I'm once again gonna mage armor myself.
I would once again like to mage armor myself.
I mean, since I couldn't ready an action 9 hours ago.
There you go. All right, you're up your mage armor, and with that, it is over to.
Oh wait, Bernard.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I hate Bernard because he keeps cutting in front of me.
I want him to.
Monster. Not.
I want him to go forward and attack the first little skeleton mummy thing
Okay.
that's coming at us.
He's gonna step to right here. Roll
15 to attack.
yes, ma'am.
Woo! Let me get damage. 10 damage.
As as Benom steps forward, he drives his sword into the skeleton, and it crumbles apart as he rips his sword through it.
Oh,
A
that's my
clatter of
boy.
bones falling away. And with that, it will be over to Orn. Eve, you're on deck. Sorry, what?
So is it actually my turn now?
Yes, sir. Eve, you're on deck.
Oh wait, actually, I'm just kidding.
All right, I attack Melusine. I get advantage, right?
You definitely do get advantage, Orn.
Surprise attack.
Great sacrifice.
So I am using my bless. Is it any time or is it just one time?
It's
One time.
one time.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and use it now on my first attack. And
Closest skeleton,
there's
or do
one
you,
right in front of him, right?
almost. Yep.
Well, I'll move to it.
Yep.
Whichever close, and then I'm going to attack the living daylight out of it. And does an 8 hit?
No, sir. It does not hit.
Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay. I decided to go with the lowest, so it's actually higher than that, but that's fine. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to be 8 damage.
Orn, as you rip your wakizashi through its neck bones, it clatters to the ground, dead.
That was actually katana, but that's fine.
Your second attack. That was your primary? Gotcha.
Yeah.
And with that, it'll be over to Eve. Bard, you're on deck.
Warren and
Fire spirit, by the way.
Thor, what you got?
Yeah,
That's
just for everyone that I blessed. Sorry, I just needed to just quick little note. I don't know how we're tracking this time wise, but it says up to a minute, so you can use your bless modifier up to a minute.
Forever in combat, as long as you don't lose concentration.
Yeah, combat's forever.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Okay, so until I break my concentration. So
Yeah.
probably
So
next turn.
I changed the way the spell rating's supposed to take because it's supposed to be a minute for it. So I wanted to be sporting so you guys could actually use it in combat because it would take you.
Hold on, to be fair, he needs to roll his control to make sure it actually goes off.
He didn't get hit there, right?
No, he still needs to roll control, right?
I think
Who,
it's
for bless?
I think Andy said he didn't have to roll control on
Not
this.
not for divine casting.
My bad.
It's a divination.
Eve, your initiative. Bard, you're on deck.
I'm going to be reading one of the consecration scrolls.
Okay, so that you spend this entire round unraveling the scroll and beginning to read the scroll. You see at the end that there is a space for the name of a deity that you must speak in order to complete the spell.
When
Okay.
she starts reading the scroll, do I go woo down to the floor?
She already set you down.
I'm holding you.
So you're holding me and reading.
Yeah. I can do that.
I'm holding the scroll in my mouth.
Yeah.
Right, so
Or hold it.
Bard is staying in Eve's arms. Is that what I'm hearing?
All right. Now I'm gonna mantle of inspiration this room. I'm gonna put a little purple up there, a little green down there. There's gonna be some pulse like action here for our epic fight sequence. It's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like boss rave. There you go. So let's see, Orange, Gary, Millicene, and Benad gets 5 temporary hit points.
Wait, what's Malcolm doing right now?
Malcolm is to the rear. He's a little overwhelmed as the skeletons are climbing their way out of the pyramid.
Lord of mercy. All right. But yeah, that's all I'm doing is just reading the scroll.
Got you. All right. And Bard, you're doing Mantle of Inspiration. Do I need to mark anyone for that, or?
That was for Bernard, Gary, Orn.
Gotcha.
and-
Okay, so that's not a marker.
Does that give me the ability to move?
Yep, you can move now without attack of opportunities.
Plus 5 temporary
Yeah.
HP.
Plus 5 hit points.
Yeah, I added that, Andy. I would love to get GTFO
To the very top. To the very top, right? Right? You want to go all the way up to the top. Right?
That is
Then miscast.
precisely not the direction I want to go.
Take that direction and then do the exact opposite.
All right. So Gary, you're going to end up at the rear here, leaving Cyclops by herself on the steps. Is Benab making a move,
What a
Millicene?
gentleman.
I want both Millicene and Bernard to move in the direction of that other door.
All the way? 30-foot move?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll go all the way over there.
Andy, can I be more on to the right as you're looking down? You know, like
Here? Over towards
Gary.
over towards Eve?
Maybe. Where's he?
Or over towards the right? Oh, I got you. Over towards the right. I see. So past,
Yeah, other
past
direction.
Malcolm.
Yes.
That way?
All right.
Nope, you're fine.
Yeah.
I had
Yes,
left and right confused for myself.
that is correct.
Is there a creature
Yep, right there.
coming
Perfect.
door over there?
All right. And with that, it will be over to... I lost my train of thought. Thoric?
Oh, I think it's me.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gary.
Gary.
And then Thoric, you're on deck. That's right, because it's Bard. Right. Gary, what you got?
Gary, I want to cast a mirror image on myself.
So conceited.
I guess I should. Do I need to roll for control on
Yes,
that one?
sir. You most certainly do.
All right, well, that's 16.
That is a success, sir.
Yeah.
Mirror image goes
and
off.
then, as a bonus action, I'm not going to move. As a bonus action, I want to cast. I'm going to point at Neris. I'm going to say, "This time you'll done fall," and I'm going to use my Hexblade Curse on her.
Okay.
She's cursed.
Ist cursed. And with that, it will be over to Thoric.
Alrighty, righty. So I'm gonna cast the second level. Man, actually, is she undead? She has to be undead. Yeah, she's undead. All right, so I'm gonna cast Healing Word on her. She within? Is that 60? Is that a 60-foot range between the floor up to the top?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Just wanted to double check. And coming at you with the damage. Let me just make sure I have the right 1d4. Correct. All right. So that's going to be 10 damage.
Okay.
To the undead lady.
Do you have to roll to hit or no?
The wind up on that.
It's just healing spell. It just has, she has to be within range.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Of sight. Oh, it's a sight spell? You don't have to touch her?
Yeah.
And it's healing.
It's just range. It's just kind of like heal from 60 feet.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Okay. And with that, it will be time for a new round of initiative, right? Yep. All right. Cyclops. I forgot about Cyclops. Cyclops is going to attack the one that's in front of her. She blows it out of the water.
Woo! There's water?
Wow, she finally got a hit.
She hits it
I don't
so
think
hard.
she's hit for like 7 sessions.
Oh, dang it, Eve. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
And let's do Bard. Initiative roll, please, sir.
All right. That's a 14.
Hey,
I got a 6.
I think the numbers add up to our side.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll have to re-roll. I forgot to charge the table. So,
No.
just going to charge the table at lucky 13 for tonight.
13!
Not lucky number 7.
Trying to sell soda.
11.
Sorry, Eve. I didn't heal you. I should have been more aware of that. That was my B.
Okay. With that, it will be over to... we'll do Thoric first. Gary, you're on deck.
Okay, yeah. Time to redeem myself. I'm going to heal Eve. Sorry. You took like 12 damage, right? Yeah.
I'm down to 4 HP.
Yeah,
she took
you...
16.
Okay, you're up to 13.
Yes.
So you got healed 13.
Woo! Thank you. I think I'm.
And that's it.
That's it for Thoric and Gary. Over to you, Sir Bard. You're on deck.
Hey.
Okay, what is my... Oh, she's definitely within 100. That's within 120 feet for sure, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast her. Rolling for control. A 4?
Tis not a miscast. though.
Cantrip 4.
Yep, that does not go off, sir.
But nothing bad happened.
But nothing bad happens. And with that, it'll be over to Bard. Eve, you're on deck.
All right.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on the...
It's an area effect, right?
Yeah, that the basic bitch at the top of the pyramid. I'm going to target her.
Dude, that's what I needed.
20-foot cube. She's going to have to pass a dex saving throw.
Will that hit me as well?
It's going to hit Cyclops. Natural 1.
Oh, she's screwed. Wait, was that Cyclops or?
Oh, yeah. We'll say that's Cyclops. Let me go ahead and roll again.
No.
No.
Now for Cyclops. Cyclops got a 16.
Oh yeah, 14 was number beat.
Okay, and let's see. We got, if it's 20-foot cube, that's going to hit 5 of the undead. Let's see how many of them make it.
Yeah. Burn it and they go away.
One of them is absolutely fine. The other 4 all fail.
Yeah, they're going to be all highlighted purple.
Oh, okay.
Are you pretty?
Yeah.
Advantage for everybody on attacks.
Purple rain.
She goes.
So you can have
Oh
like
yeah. This is gonna be good.
rename yourself.
Gary's very excited. Eve, over to you.
The one
The
four
artist
chance.
formerly known as Bard.
Look at all that purple up there.
Yeah, well, I'm still doing the.
It's like a disco party. So you're still Eve. You've as you you've reached roughly 2/3 of the way through this thing. You realize in the next round you will reach the end, and you need to know who you're going to say. Orn, your initiative, sir.
All right.
I'm just doing it for dramatic purposes.
My first action. By the way, as a bonus action last turn, I don't know if you heard me, but I used my fighter spirit, so I have advantage on weapons attacks until the end of this turn. So first of all, I want to try to taunt all of the skeletons on the pyramid. What? I'm just gonna yell in all the directions.
Bony good dude.
Lick my fleshy nutsack.
You spineless wimp.
Bone bags.
You poorly wrapped wretch.
Are you?
Hold on.
You're trying to like make them attack, make them focus on you, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. Yep. Do they need to make a save or anything against that, or?
I don't know. Do you want me to roll like a persuasion check? I don't know what you want.
Sure. Roll it with advantage.
Okay. Nat 20. +2.
You feel that they,
22.
as one, you hear a number of neck bones snap towards you as the empty sockets all stare into yours.
Somebody's got to be the tank.
And as one, they lurch forward.
He said all their empty sockets stare into yours.
Awesome. And I'm going to attack the one next to me with advantage.
There's no one next to you. Do you want
And
to?
I'll go for the one that's highlighted over there.
Okay.
Because he's standing out. Does 14 hit?
Yes, sir, it does.
Awesome. Then my other one will hit as well on a 19 plus stuff.
He is obliterated.
Yeah, it's going to be for... Okay. All right. Now...
Bones go flying across the stage. Stage right. He exits stage right.
Now, is there another one right over there?
There's another one just down near the edge of the pyramid. Yep.
Not highlighted?
Not highlighted.
Okay. And how far is he from me?
Little over 10 feet. We'll say 10 feet.
Okay. And then, can I see the book? And I'm going to use Dragon Breath on him.
Okay.
Because I think I might need to use my action surge, but I'll do that.
Dex save for him. He's got a mod 20.
Oh, yeah. He is fine. He's going to take... Ooh. Whatever half of 11 is.
He crumbles to the ground, frozen to bits.
All right, and that's my action this round.
Okay, and with that, it'll be over to Melusine. Thoric, you're on deck.
DPS and tank.
I want to do magic missile.
Magic missile.
Oh yes, yes, please.
Do you get advantage on control spells, Andy?
Me?
Because both of us, because she's marked with fairy fire.
You get advantage to hit her.
So we get advantage to hit her, but what about the control?
That doesn't affect that.
Oh,
Good try.
Yeah, I was hoping. All right. But I want 2 of my missiles to go toward nearest ghostly version and 2 to go to her body.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, it might be. It'll be interesting if it goes off. Okay, not 20 for control, so I'm real good.
Go ahead and increase your damage by 1d4.
Oh, snap. Okay.
yeah, he gives us bonuses if we roll nat 20s on that.
All right, so Ghost Neris is going to take 10 damage, and the body, oh man, come back, is going to take...
You said 10 damage for Neris?
Yeah, and then 9 to the body.
As you hit the body, you see Neris all of a sudden, with a look of horror on her face, look down at the body, and she locks eyes on you, suddenly completely zeroed in on you.
I'm going to blow her a kiss.
Okay.
Kiss of death right there.
And with that, it'll be over to Team Good Guys.
Oh. Okay.
And
What?
here's where I
I thought it was my
die.
Yeah, you were going the other direction, bro. You didn't get.
I thought Thork went first.
I went Thork.
Oh, and Bernard still needs to
Thork
go.
went first and healed.
I did.
Yeah.
Again.
I'm not crazy.
Dude,
No,
come
Thork
on.
went
She
first.
doesn't need a turn.
All right.
Didn't we just roll for initiative?
What's Benob doing?
Bernard is going to, he doesn't want to travel too far from me, but he's going to run over and stabby stab and then run back.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Taking the attack of opportunity.
Well, not if he kills him.
Fair.
So that's going to be 19 to hit.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And 8 damage.
Clatters to the ground, a pile of bones, and Benob returns to your side. Like a faithful dog.
These are easy to hit.
Such a good little human.
Isn't he?
All right. On her turn, Neris places both of her hands into the braziers, and you can see it's almost like she's clutching onto the flames that burn there with a brilliant green fire, and she screams a terrible screech this round. And I need, it's actually not that many of you, so Orn and Cyclops, go ahead and make a Constitution save.
Oh, did my my performance check or my persuasion skill, did that help?
You or I roll for Cyclops?
I forgot to have you roll the
sorry, man.
persuasion check, didn't I? Go ahead and roll it.
No,
You rolled a natural 20. That's exceeded.
Yeah, I was wondering if she was included in that.
No.
Okay.
You said the skeletons.
All right. And you said roll a con save?
Even if you had, I'm going to say she'd be focusing on Melusine after what that was. You're rolling a con save, yes.
Did you roll for Cyclops?
I
or
did. Or you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
22.
22.
No, you're good.
All right.
You roll for it.
Cyclops is incapacitated. Orn, you're just
great.
fine.
You should not have rolled for it. I rolled a 10.
She clutches her ears and falls to her knees as the scream echoes through the stadium. 2 figures step from behind the pyramid. Their robes falling apart, their skin caked with dirt and faint bits of embalming fabric across their skin. And you can see that their eyes, unlike the skeletons, which are vacant, glow a brilliant green. Step
Like a lime green or like a
neon
dirty olive
green.
green?
Together,
That's green.
All right, this one
Got those cool-
leaps from here to here, and it is going to attack you, Gary. A massive two-handed obsidian blade in its hand. It raises over its head and slams it towards you, Gary.
What?
Yep.
Where did that come from?
Does a 14 hit you, sir?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I have mirror image. I have mirror image.
That's right.
I need to roll a d20, and you have to do something. Wait, no, I think I just have to.
I think it's just you.
I roll d20. Okay. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Yeah, you hit.
Number 2.
I rolled a 2, so you definitely hit me.
Whoa. Okay.
The real me.
They do
You
10.
hit the real Gary this time.
10 points of bludgeoning damage, Gary. And the other one leaps at Melocene. He leaps right behind Benab. And he's going for Mel. Hang on,
I picked the wrong creatures.
Does a 14 hit you, Melocene?
Oh, yes.
Even with mage armor?
How
Yeah,
much?
that meets it.
Okay. Another 10 points of bludgeoning damage to you, ma'am. And with that, it will be... yep, that was her action. So Nearest screamed, and the skeletons. These three are all going for Orn. Winner,
Good.
chicken dinner.
Family reunion.
Orn, does a 17 hit you?
No.
All of them, their fingernails scraping across your scales and your armor, are unable to penetrate.
I just wink at them.
Yep. Their empty sockets do not wink back. And Cyclops did her save, so with that, it'll be a new round of initiative. Let's have Eve roll initiative.
You skip me every time.
Randomly picking.
Orn, I will do you next time, I promise.
Please don't do me. Never do me.
Yeah, do him good.
I got an 11.
Oh.
What'd you get?
I got 10.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 17.
Well,
Oh, shit.
That's nice. How nice for you, Orn. And with that, it'll be... Oh, that's just Nearest's initiative. Nearest is going to launch off the platform because she wants her some mage.
Who's she nearest to?
Yep. All right. Claws out. She's coming for Melocene.
I'm gonna die.
Does an 18 definitely hits you, right?
Yes.
The other one is a
No.
9 to hit, so that doesn't hit. 12
Oh,
points
thank
of psychic damage, Melocene, as she
All right, I'm down.
reaches into you and just tears to the side, glowing radiant energy. You never even feel the blow.
I told you this would be the damn apple.
You like butter. You like butter.
I'm down.
What's wrong with you?
Okay, so Melocene is down. And... Let's see.
Thor, get to
Mortuary
work.
Priest is going to go for Bernab.
Yeah.
18 to hit Bernab.
Yes.
Bernab takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage as the Mortuary Priest raises his obsidian glaive and brings it down into Bernab. Gary,
Lord.
Oh,
We gonna die.
a 21 to hit Gary.
no, it barely misses.
What about your mirror image? Is that still in effect?
Oh, yeah, fuck. Yeah, oh, shit, damn it.
That second wine glass.
Oh, this time you hit one of my mirror images with an 8.
You bring...
How much do you roll to hit?
You
You must roll a 10.
I rolled a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah, you definitely destroyed that fake me.
Okay. It is obliterated. All right.
Yes, there's now only 3 of me.
Okay, and let's see. The 3 skellies are going to all attack Orn.
Again?
Yeah, they're a new
Oh, wait.
it's a new initiative.
You taunted them.
They can't. desperately scrabbling across your armored body and your scales, Orn, and they are just unable to do anything.
I turn my back and be like, "Oh, can you get that spot right there?"
It's a good scratch. It's a good scratch. All right.
Just above the tails, your sweet
Cyclops
spot.
makes her save. She is no longer incapacitated. Cyclops is back with the party.
Oh,
End of her initiative.
get
Malcolm. Malcolm aims his strange tubular object at the priest that's attacking Gary. You hear a click, and the entire room illuminates a blackish red as a brilliant ball of flame erupts towards it.
Malcolm.
Yeah,
No, if
okay.
he hits me, I'm gonna be pissed.
He actually can't miss. It's so close. So it takes pieces of the priest fly away, and you see its tattered robes, its large conical hat still in place, but you can see that there are distinctive chunks of it that have been just ripped out of it as it kind of like turns its head towards Malcolm, and Malcolm cocks the action back. All right, so it's
Has Gary ever seen gunshots before?
nope.
Or I mean, whatever that happened. Yeah, Gary's
Gunshots.
very
What would a
startled.
gunshot be? Where
Oh,
are you getting this stuff?
Gary just shot
His
himself.
face exploded.
Yeah.
His face exploded in
It
front of me.
basically it went through this guy and tore chunks out of the column over here. And now it is time for the players, or as I like to say, the bad guys. Melusine, your initiative. Orn, you're on deck.
Roll a death save, Mel.
Wait, am I doing a death save or initiative?
Death save.
You're dead.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I was like, oh, I'm doing
Yeah,
that
he
again?
just took initiative.
9.
Ooh,
Nope. Strike
right
one.
one.
Okay.
Strike one. Thork needs to save you extra more now.
Oh man, I wanted to do some damage with my new staff.
No, not
I think-
anymore.
I mean, you can. I might die, though.
Staff.
Also,
Yeah,
all he has
sure.
to do is roll a
No.
natural one and be dead next turn.
Orn, it's your initiative. Eve, you're on deck.
All right, I'm gonna pick one of the glowy. Wait, they're all three glowy. Ah, so pick one.
There's 4 glowy.
3.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, and Nearest.
Oh, and her, yeah. So one of the skeletons. 14 to hit.
Yes, sir.
All right, and that's my main attack. Then my secondary. It's going to be a
Same guy.
19.
Same guy.
Is it possible for me to see how the first one does?
You got to declare your attacks at the same time.
All right, I'll attack 2 different ones.
Okay.
Since they seem to be going down relatively easy. So for the first one,
19 to hit.
yeah.
And was the second one 14 to hit?
Yeah, 14 and 19 to hit.
Okay, they both hit.
10 damage on my main weapon attack.
Yep.
So the 15.
Bones clatter to the floor.
4 damage on my secondary
You
attack.
send the pieces of the second one flying back, leaving yourself with one dark-eyed skeleton.
Cool.
Dark eye.
And then
What is that supposed to mean?
I see that Gary's in trouble, so I'm actually going to provoke an attack of opportunity and leave the threat range and go help Gary.
Okay.
Oh,
Where do you want to move to? He's got a 19 on his attack of opportunity.
Finally,
Oh yeah, he hits.
Okay, that's going to
Gary's
be
gonna fart his direction and see
Four-
if that saves him.
4 points of slashing damage. It does
I
not.
look back at him and say, "That was a bad scratch," and then keep going.
All right, where do you want to go?
I tried.
I'm gonna. Is there any way to position myself somewhat in between him and Gary?
No. No,
Can I
he's-
push Gary out of the way?
No.
What? Yeah, come on.
Okay, and in that case, I will just move in between Gary and the other person.
Dwarf.
which Gary? Isn't there 3 of them?
There's 2 of them.
Malcolm.
2 of them.
That's Malcolm.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Or the
Perfect.
2 other dwarves. Okay. And with that, it will be over to Eve. Bard, you're on deck. Eve, you reach the end of the incantation, and you speak.
Anubis!
The entire room goes dark, and I mean very, very dark.
Oh no.
My tail tucks.
I'm sorry, it's simple.
Not Anubis!
You hear one of the skeletons screech, and then you hear a clatter of bones crumble to the ground.
So far, so good. We just might be the next thing to crumble.
Wait, what?
It's working.
From across the room,
My
you see,
dark vision, I can't see anything.
no, you can't. No, you can't. So as the room is black around you, you heard the bones clatter ahead of you, and then you see off to the left the glowing green form of Nereus as she stands over Melusine. Suddenly, she goes, "No, no, no! I'm not ready. I'm not ready." And you see a huge black hand enrapture her, wrapping around her form, and you see the greenish light poof out.
Yeah.
Just
Then
get
you
a good choice.
She poofs away, and above the pyramid, on either side of the pyramid, you see two glowing green eyes appearing in the darkness. They look vaguely canine as they stare down at you.
At me?
At you,
I
Eve.
thought Anubis was a spider.
You spoke it.
Yeah.
It's
You
dog.
look it.
He looks
Yeah.
Anubis is
as he looks down at you. You get the vaguest sense of a nod at you. Eve, you gain an inspiration die.
Yay!
I thought Anubis was a spider this whole time.
The s-
Bob Saget.
I'm ahead of
I'm like, when the hell are the spiders coming?
slowly.
Isn't that Anubis behind Andy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's him.
Slowly.
Anubis,
No,
The
the pelican?
Slowly. Oh my god. This is Anubis. That's been Anubis the whole time, Gary.
Who's the guy behind the pelican?
that's Horus.
He's a
Not a pelican.
He's a falcon.
That is Anubis.
The pelican falcon.
That is Horus.
Does he ride a horse?
Anubis.
This is
So he's the
where
horse god.
this is where I say read a book.
Buddy.
This is why I love
Oh my god.
mythology.
I mean, I've read What's My Poo Telling You like at least 8 times when I've.
The room
Hey, I gotta leave in 10 minutes.
I know.
Something came up.
The room begins to grow brighter and brighter and brighter, and the greenish eyes begin to fade away. And Anubis, in his in a very quiet voice, says, "Finish it, child." And he fades away. And you all stand at the base of the pyramid, the room glowing a faintly greenish glow from the twin braziers that burn with.
Am I standing?
Was it like a Mortal Kombat?
Am I still down?
You are still down. We're
Okay,
going
great.
to- We're going to actually end here, as all of you stand at the base of the pyramid. That was
Or lie.
very well done. And next time we'll find out what happens with Melusine.